Hey everyone, it's Wabi. Got a thought of the day for you here. The NFL is going to announce the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2024 on February 8th, which is 3 days before the Super Bowl. Now, Vikings fans, you're not watching your favorite team anymore this season, but you can watch with great interest on February 8th for the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction announcement, because a former Viking is among the 15 finalists for induction as part of the 2024 class. It's Jared Allen, and he's the subject of today's thought of the day. Should Jared Allen go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Now, I want to qualify the opinion here first. On a personal level, I want to say yes to every former Viking who is the subject of a Pro Football Hall of Fame debate. I was there for 15 years inside the walls of Winter Park and TCO Performance Center. So essentially, I know on a personal level any Viking who is a legitimate candidate for Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I can't think of any of those legitimate candidates who are one-time Vikings who are now subject of a Hall of Fame debate who I wouldn't root to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Jared Allen is no exception. I certainly hope he's inducted as part of the class, the 2024 class. But whether I would root for or hope for a player, a former Viking to go into the Hall of Fame or not is a completely separate matter than if I think they should go in. I am able to compartmentalize that and separate those two viewpoints. They do sometimes, however, converge. So back to Jared Allen. Now, let's assess this. Some factors that I tend to gravitate toward when deliberating the candidacy, the Hall of Fame candidacy of a former player: dominance over peers, duration of career and duration of that dominance, ranking in relevant statistical categories, accolades or distinction, and character. Not just is he a good guy or a bad guy? Did he break laws? Did he not break laws? Did he get in trouble or not? Not necessarily that type of character, although that plays into it. But character like value add. Was the league better off because you were in it? Were you entertaining? In addition to, were you dominant? Were you good? Did you help your team win? Make no mistake, Jared was dominant over his peers, both in going up against left tackles and rushing the passer and stopping the run, but also when stacked against other pass rushers during his career. Dominant. He had a season with 22 sacks, after all, which was a half sack shy of Michael Strahan's single season record. He led the league in sacks twice. He had 14 in 2007 with Kansas City, and then he led the league with 22 in 2011 with the Vikings. In total, 7 straight double-digit sack seasons for Jared Allen. He was consistently, year in, year out, week in, week out, a problem for the other team. I saw it firsthand when he was a member of the Vikings at the same time I was. Duration, 2004 to 2015. So he checks the box with duration. I just went through some of the dominant stats. He checks the box with dominance over peers. He had 43 sacks in his first 4 seasons in Kansas City before coming to Minnesota in 2008 for 6 seasons, where he had 85 and a half sacks. So he was great in Kansas City, gets traded to Minnesota. He's even greater in Minnesota. In total, he had 136 sacks for his career, which at the time of his retirement, I think was 10th. So top 10 all time in the most important statistical category for him. And right now he's 12th. So since he's retired, 2 players have jumped up above him, and I believe that was DeMarcus Ware and perhaps Terrell Suggs. So of the 11 players right now ahead of Jared in all-time ranking for sacks, 9 of those 11 are right now Hall of Famers, including John Randall and Richard Dent, who are a sack and a half ahead of him. So 9 of the 11 ahead of Jared are in the Hall of Fame. The other 2 are either not Hall of Fame eligible yet in the case of Terrell Suggs, or the other one is a finalist in this year's class, Julius Peppers. So I know you got to draw the line somewhere and not let someone in, but is that line really with Jared Allen? That's what you have to assess, because everyone ahead of him is in, and there's some people behind him who are also in. 4-time first-team All-Pro, 5 Pro Bowls, led the league in sacks twice, a 50 greatest Vikings Ring of Honor. By the way, not just a one-trick pony who could only rush the passer. He was a part of historically dominant Vikings run defenses in 2008 and 2009, playing next to the Williams Wall. He's tied for the NFL record in safeties with 4. He was good at forcing fumbles, knocking down passes. He's got some interceptions and some touchdowns. So, again, he's a player other teams had to worry about. They had to turn protections towards. They had to draft to defend. They had to talk about him all week. He was dominant. He was a great personality. He was on successful teams. He was a character. He was good for the league. He was someone that the fans talked about, that the fans liked. They bought his jerseys. They wanted his autograph. They wore headbands. They grew mullets. He was good for the game. The NFL was a better league because Jared Allen was in it. The top 50 selectors have a hard job. I respect them for the process they go through, for the results that they yield. I think they've let some guys in recently who I don't know if they should be in or not. I'm glad for them that they got in. It's important to me that the integrity of who gets in and who gets out is there for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. To live in immortality as an NFL player, I think requires something special, some special sauce. Good players shouldn't get in. Some great players won't get in. You have to truly have been a special player to be in this class of NFL alumni. I would vote for Julius Peppers in this year's class. I would vote for Devin Hester in this year's class. And I would vote for Antonio Gates in this year's class. Lastly, though, I would definitely vote for Jared Allen. Jared Allen is a Hall of Famer. And that's the thought of the day. If you have not already, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. The Wobcast 2.0. You can find us wherever you find all your other favorite football content. YouTube, Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, all the things. Like, follow, and subscribe. Once you do, I will see you there. Until next time, this is Wobby signing off. Skol Vikings.